Hey there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's today with a double header. First off, it's UI Scooty versus Ste-fa-na-kis. And even though Ste-fa-na-kis is at 0-3 and 1-6 games, he still has a chance to reach the playoffs. Let me quickly show you. So here's the simulator. Thanks to Sergey. Two match wins with 2-0 could still result in a 12th place for Ste-fa-na-kis, but of course it's quite unlikely to happen, as it would depend on a lot of results to work out for him. And UI Scooty, on the other hand, could even reach the playoffs if he were to lose 1-2 today. Of course, he hopes to gain more traction by winning this one with a clean sweep. And then on the in the last week, in his last match of this league stage, beat the lousy Wise Maze. But we'll see. We'll see. So, Ste-fa-na-kis fairly new to Carcassonne, at least on BGA, with only 600 games of experience, started sometime last year. Hasn't reached the master level yet and is definitely the underdog today versus the Polish master and former world champion with a top rating of just shy of 800. Looks like 790 something. Yeah, that's a good reminder there. So let's see. They haven't started yet. So I think they are going for a tournament, and that's exactly what it is. You know the drill by now. We still have to wait a bit. Then let's take a quick look at MTU and Fox, which I'll feature later in roughly 90 minutes. So MTU so far is on track to reach the playoffs. More or less only needs one more win and then he should be through. So has two chances today versus Fox and in the 5th round versus Tito Ace, even though, well, Tito might need the win in round 5 if he were to lose his 4th match. And Fox, on the other hand, basically the same I said about UI Scooty goes for them as well. If they'd lose a close one today, there's still a chance to reach the playoffs, even though it's quite unlikely to get there with only 2 match wins. So going for a win today, going for a win in week 5 it is, and then, even then, it might not be enough due to all these folks currently being ahead of them, and just consider a 2-1 win today and you'd have Fox at the same tiebreaker as Glovia, Santiblada, Alexei, and Basiliuk. So not easy and definitely interesting to watch that. And they have played 12% in 1 minute. Okay, so we missed the start by just a few seconds, quite likely. Yeah, Ste-fa-na-kis started with a city here, and not MTU, UI started his own city up top. The loose cap was snatched by the Greek. And UI went for this road here, which is now restricted to the 2 remaining starting tiles left in the deck, both with Doritos here and a new city up top for UI Scooty, and another 4 points for blue, which definitely, especially with the 3rd starting tile already gone, favors the Greek player here. So basically, It's a mini battle between the road and the field should win this one in the end. Yeah, so only one tile left, else yellow's meeple here won't get back, and even if they happen to get the starting tile, this here could be killed, of course, with a road monastery here. And if not, well, if yellow defends, I'm pretty convinced that blue would later snatch this road. But we'll see. For now, they go for another road, can't close this, have to defend their city now. With two more or less dead meeples, starting the game definitely wouldn't be a great option here. But he thinks about it, which is interesting to say the least. Yeah, closing, meepling either one of these road ends, the bottom one due to this loop creation, the top one, of course, due to curves, scoring 3 points there. Further problems for yellow city up top. One dagger is already gone. Splitter. So they might get restricted into the dagger, and two of them are already on the board. Yeah. The going got tough for yellow pretty early in this one. But at least they get the first road monastery here and secure a road end, a possible road end at least, there. 5-point road here. Also, this one could be harassed by pushing it into this square here. As I said, two daggers are already gone, so it doesn't look great at all for yellow. The one thing blue quite likely should do sometime is take this city part here, basically Ukraining both this yellow city and the monastery at the same time, going for some sort of restriction over here, taking away the splitter and then harassing the monastery maybe. Yeah, seems to be like a good idea, keeping yellow's shortage of meeples as long as possible. Nope, not my move. Definitely not my move. With this situation, I think I'd rather would have taken care of the city there and hoped to take this one later on again. But yellow opts to score the immediate 4/5 points and pressure blue's road. It works out like a charm. Now they even take this 9, possible 12-point field. On the other side of this road, though, is a 6-point field for anyone to take as well. And it's quite likely that blue will attack this field later. For now, yellow, though, takes the lead. Yep. Goes here. Blue can't do anything about it right now. Could start from here, though. On the other hand, farming before yellow gets the monastery to complete the first one definitely is the better idea than going for any, I don't know, attacks, restrictions, whatever. So now the field is equalized, and Ste-fa-na-kis could even go here and attack it to take this over. while binding yellow's meeple there. Yeah, takes the monastery, at least he should, and then pressure this square, try to restrict this to the remaining dagger. Again, trying to keep the meeple majority here for a long time. Something is off, actually. Okay, seems my auto scroll and zoom does not work, but okay, we'll make do. So yellow liberates the monks, starts a new city. Blue restricts this, as they should. Finally, a curve for yellow, and of course they pre-close the road this way before blue gets any thoughts of attacking this road. So getting the starting tile definitely is crucial here. Blue breaks yellow city. Actually, not a fan of this protection here. I mean, there are so many tiles to kill this, and even if blue would have placed something here, at least then yellow would have options to protect. Yeah, tricky situation over here. Whoever gets the first cap to place definitely has a huge advantage there. Both getting meeples back. Yellow claims the field. And this early blue farmer is still stuck at 3 points. So as of now, Ste-fa-na-kis wasn't able to seize the advantage he got with the meeple majority, but there are still options to attack yellow's city, and quite likely he has to do that. Could also go for the restriction over here, even if this might lead to restriction of his city as well. In the end, keeping the 3-1 advantage and just outscoring yellow the rest of the way should be sufficient to win this game, but the starting tile hits for yellow, and even though they have their city on the left here, I think they should go for the road. 5 points, a meeple back, yes, a shared field afterwards, and not a shared 6-point, but a 9-point field, as the road would add this small city here to the shared field as well. Might be a tad more volatility than yellow would like here, as they are the side with more points. But closing here would at least temporarily tie the meeples in hand, and this here is, in this case, to blue's advantage. But with so many caps still out there, they opt to restrict this to the remaining dagger. Yeah, by the way, all daggers, and especially the rose, are critical. The rose would kill the neighboring city no matter who gets it, as it's the last cap plus straight-ish tile out there. Now that the Fourth starting tile is gone. And this situation in the middle now of the 9-point field then gives two options to attack it, right now at least. There's a fourth one, fifth one, third and fourth one, fifth one over here. So multiple ways. Yeah, Ste-fa-na-kis prefers to attack the city, and that's all fine and dandy. It's worth 10 points already. So just equalizing this one by getting one of the triple city tiles could in the end be enough, as long as he doesn't lose the city to yellow or the field to yellow as well. And blue, of course, still has curvies and, well, the rose not. So only curvies to get a meeple back. He should use the rose over here, even if it were only to kill yellow's city. Because yellow has 2 daggers plus the rose. Blue only has 1 dagger and the rose. And blue's connection hits immediately. Yellow with a very wise attack here. A double ninja. Oh, okay, this is a ninja, the left one. Top one, maybe not. Giving them the chance to either win one of the fields, or if both options hit, even combine all the fields and take the combined field over. And here we go. Scooty draws one of the daggers, and no question. I mean, take the 8 points, take over the fields. That's just so juicy. And then Ste-fa-na-kis has to attack the field. There is no other way. The only question is, do you take your meeple back first? I'd say yes, because this also creates options to attack the field. Or do you attack immediately? And, well, the answer would be no, at least from my point of view. Because now Ste-fa-na-kis has 2 meeples in hand. He's at -19, and the field is worth more than 19. It's currently at 7 cities, and looks like it will stay that way unless someone goes for this one on the right side, which I wouldn't expect, not with open caps on the left. Hey, Kyrillo. So now the lead is at 23. That's more than the field's worth. And a straight definitely ain't ideal. We could set up field attacks. This square is for the purpose of a field attack dead. There's still a horse that could go there. So actually there is this option, or would be this option for blue, but doesn't really work all that great. Yeah, yellow munching on quick points again, and they should, because they don't need to win the field. A tight field right now would work for them. On the other hand, winning the field would definitely win them the game. So if they spot, for example, this one here, which gives 5 connecting pieces, they might go for it. The problem, though, is these 8 points, and afterwards 2 farmers by blue would lead to a blue win, and therefore they go for the simple move, scoring 4 points, extending their lead. Blue attacks, safe attack at that, 4 connecting pieces after Yellow got one of them. And it's the same question again for yellow. They can't really go here. Oh, they can actually. There's no road D piece left to kill this square immediately. And therefore this is a pretty safe attack. The only problem for them would be the Dorito or another vanilla that would restrict this attack to one piece. So then this on the right side might be an option. Again, with the downside of creating a possible 8-point city there. What did I say, Kurdo? Or why do we say 50-50? Doesn't look like it would be wise for UI to try and prevent this connection. Again, it's basically the same chances as at the bottom, just worse because blue might just draw their connecting piece immediately. But at 27 plus for yellow, let's see. This connection on the right side, or the one at the bottom. I mean, both work. The right one is protected as is. And UI goes for just protecting the lead, taking away on this attacking option. Blue scores 3 quick points, but these 3 quick points degrade this attacking possibility. And now blue is at -24. So closing this, connecting, and then only one move left. Doesn't work. What would work is this one here. Attacking the city. But that would only have worked with the vanilla, and the vanilla now is gone. So are there any more options? Does yellow create an option if they go here? No, they don't, as the only pieces that would fit there don't work with a attack on the right or left side of this newly placed vanilla. But is there anything else? I don't see it. Yeah, it's a shame. This is the wrong piece. With the rose, blue would have this ninja here available to them. This ninja here, by the way, wouldn't work, as yellow would just kill this immediately. Yeah, so taking the 6 points, right? This doesn't work because blue then takes the 6-point road. In some cases would. We'd have to add the cap like this year. That's a possible 9-point move, but even then, yellow just claims 3. I don't think this move by yellow was a mistake. I don't see why, actually. I mean, they could have killed this option, but then blue would have other options. Or they could have taken this field. Yeah, this is worse than this option because yellow can always kill this with the Dorito. In the end, it doesn't matter because yellow would win anyway. And more precise would have been this one. Oh yeah, and there's even a 4-pointer for yellow here with the Dorito. So in the end, it came down to this very timely and pretty wise attack by yellow. Only question is whether blue could have executed this one themselves or blocked it earlier, which I'm actually not sure. Well, they might have. But given that these two have already started their second game, let's focus on this one. And I might take a look at the first one later, because if they keep this current pace, even if this match would need a decider, we'd still have a few minutes to fill before MTU and Fox would start. So this time, start looks in yellow's to be in yellow's favor here. Nice diamond-shaped city, equalizing blue's best feature so far. Then the extender hit. Yeah, blue closes it immediately. With yellow's road in the vicinity, I get it, because a breakage like this and then pushing the city into this road would definitely be totally annoying. And this way, well, you have the annoying options on your side by restricting the road. And if you happen to get an extender or twin caps, you quite likely will find another move for them. So UI, do you attack this and go for the triple city? Or do you pre-save your road here from limitations like this one? And the pole goes for this. Gets immediately rewarded by the deck, getting a triple city, sadly for him, without a shield. And I would think that blue will take the field now, keeping options to stack the monasteries there. Okay, can't figure out the problems of my extension now, but at least it's only the auto zoom, and that's not a huge issue here. I don't like this at all. So often it only brings trouble to your monastery. Especially if there are other options available. So one restriction over here. One dagger is gone. UI protects the city, so there won't be any takeover possible anymore. But he needs one of the roses or starting tiles to close it. Yeah, what do you do now? If this weren't here, could easily start a new city. Okay. Not ideal, but at least a severe threat to Yellow's road, as 2 of the daggers are already gone and there's the only one left. The problem being, though, if Yellow gets one of these daggers, well, of course they'd claim this potential 8-pointer there. Yeah, and this here is the precise reason why I am not specifically fond of a starting tile next to a monastery with field side there and another field side here. Yeah, any day of the week. Yeah, sure, still 2 starting tiles left, but I mean, you wanna get them anyway, and there are more options later on to just kill this square. And blue basically has to defend here as not to get restricted to the same starting tile on the right side as well. And all this takes away tiles from blue, which they could have used to go for the jugular of Yellow's city. And now blue has to defend. This would be the most efficient way, giving this cap to your monastery, hoping to create a loop up top once the city is secured on the right side. Looks like they do concur as well. Meanwhile, I didn't comment about this move. Yeah, seems fine. By extension, restricting Yellow City into a possible dagger, although there are still 2 splitters left. So do you defend here indirectly, or do you just close your road? I'd say defend indirectly. There aren't too many killing tiles left for Yellow, and there are saving options here and a lot of them there as well. And especially because Yellow needs these roses for their city, there are even less killing tiles available, but Blue gets saved, draws a vanilla to give themselves 2 chances to liberate the monk. And I would expect someone to meeple over here just to connect to the field once the starting tile gets drawn. And of course, the starting tiles are highly critical now that both need one of them. Yeah, nice field attack with tempo, creating the kill threat of yellow's road. And it's not that blue needs a direct kill like this one. They could also use curves here to restrict the road quite severely, because even if yellow were to draw the dagger, they need another starting tile here as well. The problem though is that blue wasted all these nice shielded Doritos on simply killing a 1 meeple that is already worth 7 points. That's a pretty significant and huge investment. You mean this connection, Kyrillo? I think so, yeah. But the dagger definitely isn't ideal. I mean, with the dagger, I'd rather protect my city now, maybe. And have still hopes to get a splitter. And even if this binds 2 of my meeples, I might go for it. This one here right now doesn't really work, leaving the caps open with 2 extenders still in the deck. Yeah, this is also an option, just taking away this chance. On the other hand, blue later could go for stuff like this here, just in case yellow gets a starting tile. Yeah, here's the same idea by yellow, protecting their city and attacking the field, banking on drawing a starting tile there. While blue should add a farmer here. That square ain't blockable. There's still 2 daggers left to connect. But they get a curve, connect immediately, still have this threat, and then even the starting tile wouldn't let yellow take over the field, as this is only yellow's second meeple versus 3 by blue. Yeah, Scooty can't do anything about this farmer now, so he restricts the field, which is a better idea than just extending this future yellow road. This is 2 points for blue, sure, but maybe it had impatience as well. There was no threat to kill this. There still were 2 caps to close this on the right side. On the other hand, if blue doesn't get a starting tile, it will be tricky anyway. So just going for the ruin here, at least expanding this and scoring some possibly vital points in the end is definitely not the worst idea. And yeah, this monastery works fine to that end, setting up options like this one with daggers or the rose. And There are basically no killing options available. Even this one here, restricting this city to 2 starting tiles, wouldn't kill it as of now. There are still 2 left. Yeah, if it weren't for UI only having 1 meeple in hand, they'd surely attack the field again. But with only 1 and only the splitter to get 1 back, looks to me like they have to wait. And in the end, they might opt not to fight for the field, getting this meeple back, closing the city, snatching a secondary field, preventing blue city from being closed by outdrawing blue might work better for them. But we'll see. First starting tile of the remaining 2 drawn by yellow. Now they have 2 meeples in hand. And there are still options to attack the field, of course. There are ninjas over here. There are road monastery options. Field is rather closed on the left side, but once blue closes their city, they might need to drop even a 4th farmer. But that 4th farmer won't score more points for them and would then set up, or increase rather, yellow's fieldless winning options. Or rather, their chances, not their options. But we'll see. Still curvies out there. Maybe loop road up top for yellow. Just score points. There's still hope for the splitter. Okay, he goes for a restriction option. I wouldn't drop another farmer. It's not yet necessary for blue. Okay, road monastery options are just out of the window right now. Yellow scores 2, removes this loop road, which I would have liked to keep open. They are the side currently with more meeples in hand, so it would be more to their advantage to have this option. On the other hand, the road monastery here sets up this monastery square, which blue takes now. Right? Yes, they do. Okay, they might miss out on a few breakpoints over here, but they still have loads of caps to close their city at the bottom. Yeah. Does it really help? Well, it takes away the rows there. But it also sets up this long road if blue hits the starting tile. And now it's with plus 16. I mean, yellow has to attack immediately. And then it's a flip for the starting tile. And even if yellow connects here successfully, they'd only snatch 15 additional points. Yeah, whatever. Let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So 15 for a +2 lead. Blue immediately tries to kill this. And they would with basically anything over here that doesn't have a field side turned into yellow square. Yeah, and just taking the points should be enough. They shouldn't add a farmer. I think that was not necessary. Although they had +16, there any chance for yellow to outrun them, even if this connection doesn't happen? Well, yes, there is. Yellow could draw the splitter and ninja attack the field for, again, 15 points. They would also need to get all crossroads as well. Yeah, unlikely to happen, but still possible. So to me here, just scoring the points and then outscoring yellow the rest of the way. Let yellow attack the field. It doesn't really matter. You have other options to win this one. And now, well, yellow can't do anything about the field anymore. It's secured by these 4 meeples versus yellow's 2. There is no road monastery left, and the sole yellow meeple won't do much damage anymore. Blue even closes city and monastery and gets to score some points on their remaining 2 moves. Yellow also pads their score a bit, but it doesn't change the outcome of this game. 6-pointer here, 7-pointer there. And another 4 points here, maybe. Well, they go for 3, whatever. Yeah, rather decisive victory by Ste-fa-na-kis, even though yellow hit this one. And, well, this meeple shouldn't have been that problematic. This here, though, turned out to be having a meeple for 1 point stuck there for, I don't know, 30 moves or something. Definitely not ideal, especially not if you know there's a field fight happening and you need all the meeples to fight for it. Well, then we'll see whether Ste-fa-na-kis will basically oust UI Scooty from the Champions League by winning this match. I mean, as I showed you in the beginning, even if the Pole would lose this decider and therefore the match, he'd still have a theoretical chance, but that is definitely of a theoretical nature and very, very likely won't happen. So again, a good start for blue. Not a great draw for yellow again. Yeah, normally you try to break blue city, but they immediately, especially with the rose in hand, would restrict yellow city to the one and only remaining dagger. So padding your unwieldy city it is. And here we go. There's the threat. Yellow throts this one, this time at least. But so yellow's road here isn't ideal as well. Some cases they might need to go for this city and would endanger the road meeple. Yeah, to that end, I'm not a fan of this monastery. Would have at least considered this year to harass 3 of yellow's features. Whereas this year only gives you some chances to play against yellow's city and endangers your city at the same time. So will he attack? He should. He does. Okay, looks like there's some tile missing because these 7 points here were for a completed road and we saw the hole. Yeah, also not an ideal configuration on the left side. And yeah, basically with only one starting tile left, blue might need to close the road before closing the city. Now their monastery is under fire and they definitely have to prevent yellow from closing their city. Currently, blue has a nice lead, but yellow has all the meeples they could ask for in hand. Not really. Not really. I mean, there's only one dagger left here, but there are still 3 Rotoritos. And trying to restrict this further, any field part over here, and then giving them an out? I mean, come on, there are still horses left. While at the same time, basically endangering this one or killing this connection. Uiuiui. That's pretty reckless stuff by blue here. In the end, it works, but was this really the way to go? I don't think so. So they only have one chance to close their city up top, and yellow tries to even take that one chance away. We'll see. Blue can't defend. There is no rows left. So this one here doesn't work. There's only a starting tile left, and it might not be critical after yellow's next move. There's really not a lot blue can do now. Maybe prepare this road end for your outside chance of getting the starting tile before yellow kills your city. Yeah, and over here on the left side, blue basically said goodbye to their monastery as well. It's not yet interesting stuff happening here. I think yellow just saved blue's monastery. I mean, I would understand a monastery here, maybe even a farmer with the chance of, if a successful save happens for blue, expansion of this farmer to 9 points. But yellow didn't go for it. Instead, this here seems to be more help to blue than necessary, and blue snatches the farm. They now have to tie the fate of their meeple to yellow's. Currently a lost mini battle. But they get it back immediately, and that is very, very crucial for them. Because with 2 meeples in hand and a +14 lead, they might be able to withstand the onslaught that for sure will be happening later by yellow's meeples converging on the farm here. I only need to find the right color. This one works. Yeah, might even be an idea to attack the farm now. They go from the top. Blue takes the quick points or drops another farmer. We'll see. They go for quick points, which could hurt. Now there's a second yellow farmer. Blue goes for a 7-pointer, totally fine. But they need to add a second farmer, especially now that their city is killed. There's no chance to score the 9 points there. There's an outside chance to get this monk liberated, but they need to draw curves or road monastery to achieve this. And yellow might take away this. Nope, they go for the city. And they haven't connected yet. And this connection here could be blocked or restricted. As of yet, only restrictions are possible. There are no blocks available so far, but this sketched crossroad would hurt severely, leaving only one to connect. Not an ideal tile for blue. I mean, this works, could even be okay because there are 2 caps to score quick points. There are options to connect. They aren't easy to kill. So maybe with 2 meeples in hand, it wouldn't be the worst idea to go there immediately. Because once yellow takes this away, which they might, even with a connecting piece like this curve, you might not get a better chance to attack the field. This is a nice restriction by yellow. Now there are only the one and the remaining splitter available, and there are even killing tiles over here. So any straightish piece would kill this. This here wouldn't be the way to go, as then blue would get another city on their field. But the splitter goes to yellow, and now blue needs caps to score points, and they get a 7-pointer. There are still more caps out there. And there's even a chance to crawl around this city into the main field. So this square here is dead. So if you're a fan of Ste-fa-na-kis, keep your fingers crossed for the right-handed dagger. And even if it doesn't happen, well, then the problem is up top. There could be a 6-point field happening. Yeah, this is basically a pre-block. So if this happens, then in some cases, there could be options like this. For example, if the crossroads were gone to kill this one immediately, it definitely takes away, for example, this dagger to help with this connection. So therefore, the left-handed dagger actually isn't really critical. The right-handed dagger, though, is due to these implications here. Wise choice by blue, killing this square, taking away a 4-point quick move from yellow, leaving only this cap, which would score 4 points as well to the side getting it, 3 points to both fields, or in some cases 5 road points, although you'd rather take the road points here, maybe, depending on the remaining pieces. But this one up top wouldn't give any more chances for blue to connect into the main field. But for now, blue is at +8. So even without this connection, just getting the dagger for 4 points seems to be enough to win this game. And even if they don't get this dagger, getting the road monastery for 7 at the bottom might also be enough to win this game. And even if that doesn't happen, sometimes just scoring 4 would be enough. So we'll see. It definitely isn't easy, and there aren't great options for yellow to attack blue's field. So it's not like they could unite these fields and attack here. Actually, they can, but it's unlikely to work out, because now that they have the crossroads in hand, everything by blue would kill the square immediately. And yeah, the straight, of course, is also a 3-point piece for blue, if they see this, that is. Yeah, for now, just adding 1 point to the monastery seems the way to go. I don't see anything better. The dagger in yellow's hands. Will they take the more quick points, which would give yellow this connection, blue this possible connection option? But what else shall yellow do? Take the field, add the dagger so you can score more points later, setting up a 7-pointer, so with 2 moves, 10 points. But leaving this one here definitely isn't ideal. You go for this one. 3-point field. Possibly another 3-point plus 5-point gain, which again, blue could kill immediately and should. Yeah, looks like yellow might just be toast. What's the best that could happen to them? Well, setting up a 6-point field plus getting the remaining cap and then the road monastery, quite likely. For 16 points, that should be enough, even if they'd leave this 4-point loop for blue to take. Because blue would then score 4 and another 4 for 8. That would be not enough. And this here should seal the deal, unless I'm missing something. And I don't think I am. Yeah, so this move definitely is worth of another look, which I'll do after this match is done. So I don't know, maybe in 4 minutes 15 seconds, we'll see. But yeah, UI knows it as well as we do. There is no chance left to win this one after Blue's monastery. Yeah, another 4 points up top if he wants them. Yeah, 4 points over here as well, of course. Doesn't matter. Yeah, pretty well played by the Greek. Well, except for this situation, I still think this wasn't the way to go. Just so significant downside, so many ways this could go terribly wrong and lose you the game. Not on the spot, but quite surely in the long run against yellow's meeple advantage. So 2-1 for Ste-fa-na-kis, was able to turn and is a match round. So later in 24 minutes, no, 27 actually, because these two don't start at 1930, but at 1931, because someone seems to be superstitious. So we still have a bit of time left, and let's check out the standings. Actually, where is it? Oh, I've closed the calculator already. What a shame. Well, basically, let's check whether Sergey has already fixed the bug or not. So UI Scooty should go to 4 and 7. Let's see. This doesn't change anything. No, I should select it and then calculate, right? So UI Scooty 5 and 8 definitely is wrong, so it's not corrected yet. He's at 4 to 7. As I said earlier, he still has an outside chance to reach 12th place, but a lot would have to go for him. And basically, everyone having already 3 match wins, would need to win their remaining match. And all these folks here between UY and Texe would have to play in such a way that they would end up with a 2-3 and lousy tiebreakers, which in some cases is problematic because, for example, I think it was with playing versus Phosphate. So there will be definitely another player reaching 3 victories as well. And I mean, you've seen this in the early stages of this stream. There is an outside chance, but it's just unlikely. And of course, I will be playing against UI, and I am ousted from the playoffs, but I still would like another match win. And if not, then at least to win one game. And even that one lost game for Scooty would be a definitive no chance for a playoff ticket. And then there's Ste-fa-na-kis at 4-8. Even a second match win with a clean 2-0 next week won't help. So then let's take a look at the first game, and something I wanted to check there. I should note this stuff down actually. Let's check what was happening in the end. I don't remember. What did I want to check here? This situation, right? So when was this happening? The dagger happened in move 115, so the curves either 91 or 107. I think 107. Let's see. Yeah, must have been 107 because yellow immediately got this connection, right? And yeah, I wanted to check whether blue was able to kill or use this connection earlier. So oh yeah. Sorry, Volker, didn't notice your message. And yeah, you're right. 4 on top were only 1 point due to the expansion of blue's field, which I had mentioned earlier, but just quite obviously forgot about. Yeah, this looks fine. It might just be that yellow's connection happened immediately. No, it was not immediately, right? Yeah, there was at least this move. And then there's blue. Hey, Otto. Yeah. Stuff happens. Not the greatest season for many folks with bigger aspirations, I'd say. But at least some still have a chance next week. Yeah, as blue, I don't think we do anything about this here right now. We just take our meeple back. Rather attack the city, yeah. And then here's yellows. And blue, of course, connects up top. So, yeah. Just, well, nice moves working out for both of them, so nobody should complain. And I think I didn't even talk about this one. Also, of course, a good move by blue, taking away closing options of this city. And then this here was the key tile. Not yet winning yellow the game, but setting up the win here, giving them great odds. Yeah, well, if you are here, let's forward a bit and then check out the field attack options later. So this one, for example, but I mean, blue is down 27 and yeah. I mean, they could have rolled the dice actually on this one, considering an attack over here, a successful attack over there, only would grant them 27 points, but 2 moves. Where basically the second move, so after the attack, is a waste because it only connects and quite likely doesn't do anything else. Maybe sets up another field attacking platform. Whereas this here, for one, you have connection options, and you have options to score these 8 points, or even attack immediately with a second meeple. Of course, it's a roll of the dice because yellow might snatch these 8 points and further pad their lead, which would push yellow even into fieldless win territory. But yeah, what else is there? If you attack, well, basically your only winning chance is to take over the field. Yeah, but pulling the trigger on a move like that definitely ain't easy. So blue went with the conventional route, and I definitely won't fault them for that. Yeah, yellow then took away this one. And blue just got an annoying tile. I actually don't think this was necessary up top. There's still nothing to kill the square, only restrictions to a 50-50 would be available. Hey Napira, just tell me where blue should attack with the vanilla. Yeah, Volker, so if you think about this one here to use, I don't know where to attack the field. I don't think blue has a chance without tying yellow's city/ruin. Especially because there still was quite a significant chance of closing that city. -1/6. I'm pretty sure you don't. No, I'm wrong. Over here. Oh. Yeah, that this option here. Okay. Yeah, about this one I've talked on the stream already. That was one option for blue to win the game. Connect to the field, tie the field, get the vanilla, preferably first the vanilla, then the remaining Dorito and the connection, or maybe first the vanilla, then the connection, and then the Dorito. Yeah, that would have been one option for blue to win the game, unless there would have been then options for yellow to add another farmer somewhere, but it just didn't happen for them. But now let's think about this monastery. Does it really improve yellow's chances? I don't think so. On the other hand, yellow could have taken away options to attack here with the monastery. Might have been more useful. 3-0 for another attack. Yeah, this one I've also talked about on the stream. That only works if blue gets a rose, which did not happen. So basically at this point, it's still might not have been lost, but I'm not sure. Ah, okay, Volker, I got you. You mean with the road Dorito attacking the field over here, but or this road Dorito, for that matter. Well, let's take a look. I mean, we still have a few minutes. So when did these road Doritos happen? 111. Earlier even, okay. But I think if blue goes for the ninja connection with road Dorito on the right side, yellow might just never connect here. Be happy with the left field. Let's see. So, Volker, your idea is this one. Am I getting that right? Okay, thanks for the confirmation. Yeah, I mean, why not actually? There are 4 pieces to connect, with tempo adding another 5 points. Only 1 to kill. No road monasteries left. No second chance. Although there is a second chance. But no, this doesn't work. This would work. So crawling all the way around here would work. But I mean, this is dream territory here that just doesn't work. I quite like it actually. It sets up a 14-point move. problem being you already need curves here. And yellow, of course, could go for this option, although that is susceptible to a restriction from the left side, only one crossroad left. And of course, yellow might threaten to close that city. So yeah. I like it. I like it. I think that's a good find, Volker. Not sure anyone would pull the trigger on a move like that, with still 18 tiles left. But why not? I mean, there's no splitter left, so no risk of giving yellow a chance to close their part of the city. In some cases, you even get a chance to kill this connection and then pad your ruin with the triple cities, maybe, if you don't need them to kill a yellow city up top or take away the field connection here, stuff like that, for example. Yeah, and actually, the chances here might even be better than the connection up top. Quite likely, not by a lot, but the 4-to-1 ratio might do the trick. At least comparable to this attack. And the upside over here is a little bit bigger with, well, of course, still the big elephant in the room here, yellow closing their city possibly. But they didn't go for it. Okay. So 25, then let's take a look at endgame of the third one, where UI Scooty opted in the end to score 4 quick points with the dagger when he also had other options. Oh, that's one move too far. So Ste-fa-na-kis doesn't place a meeple. Ugh. Wrong key, wrong key. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. And again. So Scooty went over there for 4 points. 2 minus 3. Well, his winning condition now definitely isn't blue drawing 2 of the remaining road pieces that would work for them to connect. So 2 of the 3 here, no matter in which constellation, this would always connect. But of course, if blue gets the road monastery, they quite likely would never go for this one, especially not doing this over here, because they'd set themselves up to fail. They'd always take the 8 points at the bottom just to win it. So this here doesn't really matter that much in terms of connection, even if it increases blue's chances. Basically, this here gives blue 3 out of 4 good tiles. So it increases the value of straight and curve for blue by quite a lot. And what's yellow's winning condition here? Well, if blue gets both roads, they connect. Currently, they have this 6-point field, while yellow has this 15-point field. So connection over here is a 9-point swing in blue's favor, 9 points plus 7. That's 16. 4 is 12. So yellow would need to score 13 points with Road Monastery and this dagger. That's just not gonna happen. And if we give blue the dagger, which they could only use for 4 points here, they'd be at plus 11. This might work. Sorry, Volker, I don't understand what you mean. Which straight road? I don't care about straight roads for yellow. I care about straight roads for blue. And the question here basically is, does this win, or is there a chance if yellow goes there, rather? E4 doesn't help me. I mean, there are these moves over here, and everything before that I actually don't care about right now, because I only have a minute left until MTU and Fox start. Yep, yellow closed the city. Not 12 Napira, but 9. The city here isn't on this small field. This move here would be a 7-pointer for blue. 4 here, 3 for the city. So yeah, that actually might be enough for blue. Got a 7 points, which is almost the same they could score with the Road Monastery. So in the end, the one thing I did suggest was setting up this one here for yellow for 6, then another, 6 when it's closed, another 4 points, and in the end getting the Road Monastery somewhere, or maybe even here for 6. I don't see anything better. But then blue gets 7 points over here. That's not enough. Yeah, I think if blue then, so for example, if blue gets the straight, they might take this road or not. They would add 3 points. Yellow gets this one, but blue gets the curve. Well, they could score 4 points, would be 7. And yellow gets the Road Monastery. Yeah, I think this is might have given better chance to yellow than going here, but I would need to take another look. But now we are out of time, so let's go to MTU. And they are banging out moves here. So let's check. Fox started over here. MTU went to the bottom. Crossroad for Fox, quite likely with a meeple. And something is missing? Okay, let's focus on what actually happens from this point onwards. So mtu gets restricted to a starting tile over here, which is a significant problem due to this self-invasion here. And that is actually something I'd like to check. Yeah, so mtu went here to take the points, and then over here with the meeple to threaten yellow city. Okay, and then afterwards, no, earlier with the extender already there. Oh. Doesn't strike me as ideal going here, here, and then there with a second meeple. Okay, it is what it is. Now he'll have to fight an uphill battle. There's now even a third city part of him in the vicinity. And yeah, I think we just kill this now. I wouldn't give yellow a second chance. Oh, this works quite fine as well. Yellow goes for a kill up top. Blue can't really take the road points here, as that would endanger their city. So they go for an indirect protection. Yeah, and mtu can't do anything about this situation. Normally, you'd save, of course, your cities here, but, well, you wouldn't save the city. There's this threat of an immediate kill. So he has to hope to get something, ideally not even the twin caps, but a vanilla first to then get the twin caps to extricate this meeple there, at least. And he still has splitters to go here, unless blue takes this option away. And now we see with the twin caps, he might use this one. He might go here, because then he still has the two left. If he goes here, well, a restriction would immediately happen from here or from there to the dagger. And that's exactly why he goes for the left one first. There's the splitter, and it, at least from my point of view, it should go here. One, you split these cities. This one still has a chance. And also you protect indirectly this square here, and would give your middle city definitely new life. There is still one starting tile left. So maybe you get a chance to close it later. But at least this here would have a chance. Okay. He opts for points, opts to further pad his lead. We'll see how this turns out in the long run, because he will have to fight an uphill battle. So the remaining splitter in blue's hand, and, well, playing it safe might be the way to go here. The problem of this is it's not playing it safe. There is only one triple city and the quad left. So this here would be a pretty severe restriction. Therefore, this here is playing it safe, even if it endangers your monastery. I mean, there are still 3 daggers left, so it's not a huge problem if a restriction from the left side were to happen. With the road. This one is pretty significant. There are only 2 tiles left to go here, but blue gets one immediately. Snatches the city. What does yellow do? Take a 4-point road with 5 curves still left. Also, if you get the curve rather quickly, then this would expand your field, but it would also set up attacking options for blue here, so not easy to pull the trigger there. Yeah, he goes for a slight restriction, but there are so many city plus road tiles still in the deck. Not sure that does a lot. Yep. Both getting a meeple back. Blue getting more points. Closing the gap on the virtual scoreboard. Now only 8 points. Yellow adds a very, very crucial farmer, taking away options from blue to attack the field here, or at least take the 6-pointer there. And considering yellow is severely down, or should be severely down on meeples in the long run, these farmers are gutsy ones. In the end, blue definitely will attack the fields, or should, or might not. Who knows? If they get too close their city, they might have fieldless win options. Why was the vanilla critical? I don't see. I think it's just a misclick. The twin caps are critical over here, and quite likely they even come with another farmer. Maximizing the points here, scoring twice on 2 cities. And of course, when the twin caps are critical, the extender here, which could thwart these plans, are critical as well. Is critical as well. There's only one left. Here we go. Attack by blue. Yellow might restrict the city to the one remaining starting tile. The usual way doesn't really work. It would more or less help blue, as there are all 3 daggers still in the deck. On the other hand, yellow might just aggressively score 4 points. And risking blue closing this city immediately and having then 2 options to go for the field. Yeah, now we'll see the restriction up top. Definitely, it I think should be a must. Also giving options to kill on this square here. Sorry for the noise, but that's not what yellow wanted to see, and it's also not what I wanted to see, because I'd like a close game right until the end. So yellow kills this square and attacks. And this here sets up so many nice options for blue. +7, yeah. There aren't a lot of options to get this monk back. This here is 1. There's still a crossroad left to go there. No curves, as I mentioned. So yellow has to connect up top now. The only question is, do you add a meeple to this road, knowing full well that there is only one road end left, and these daggers would kill your road meeple, and it's the last one for them, so they can't use this. They just have to leave this where it is. At least then blue would have to decide whether to get a meeple back or score road points with the remaining crossroads. And I'm not sure what yellow is really thinking about right now. Maybe he really considers the road because of the 2 twin caps, right? He does. Wow. Wow. That is gutsy. It's definitely gutsy. Yeah. Now 3 points over here. But now blue has options to take away these 6 points from yellow by connecting here. Yellow is at +13 after this move, +16 if the connection happens, +10. These options, maybe this is the better move. Leaves only the quad city for blue, and these 2 would be stuck there. Yeah, but the crossroads happen for blue. Not sure whether this connection was necessary right now. I could have also taken the meeple back. On the other hand, this is an 8-pointer straight up. Yeah, mtu gets this one, at least kills this city, but the remaining twin caps happen to get into yellow's hands, into blue's hands as well. And the question is, will they be able to outscore yellow here? Yellow needs to kill this square, and they will do this with their next move over here, no matter what they get. Does this work? We should take away the 4 points and then hope to get the quad city. So if we take away these 4, there's a 1 in 3 chance to get the quad city for additional 3 points, or +5, while blue will only score 5, and 5 is a tie then. That's not enough for blue. Yeah. So mtu found his move. And Fox, what shall Fox do now? Take the field for a 6-pointer. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, mtu could score 1 point, but then the quad city happens here. Yeah, so basically whatever mtu does, he just loses. This one, I mean, he's down at -1. This one, sure, he'd go to 85 as well, but then the quad city wins the game for blue. Yeah, in the end, it does look like whether Mateusz goes there or not. With the crossroads going to blue, it quite likely would end up in a blue win anyway, no matter whether he'd go on the road or not. At least he had a 1 in 3 chance. No, he didn't, right? Because blue would have gotten 3 more points and yellow as well if the remaining tiles were reversed. So yeah. Does this change anything about this tile? I don't think so. Well, we'll take a look afterwards. Or maybe now. Oh, no, we don't. Second has already started. And either that's a misclick or a BGA problem. Wow. There's no reason to not meeple this extender. Sure, sometimes you get into hot water. What? I mean, 2 starting tiles are gone, and he risks this stuff. Why? Sure, blue could attack it, but I'd rather take a city under fire than a city blocked to a starting tile in the early going after 1 is out anyway. Risky stuff here. Risky stuff. On this though, I get many folks would just continue the city, but I mean, there's so many options for your opponent to attack it immediately. Blue again drops an extender without meepling, when they could have just added this one on the right side, creating significant problems for yellow there. Yeah, and now they don't even... What is happening here? What's the deal? Yeah, sure, there are still 3 daggers left, but why not go for this? Why not just take this one? Force yellow into this one. Yeah, in some cases you might be restricted to the starting tile there. But leaving all these city parts empty can't really be the best move in these cases. And I would put mtu on this move here. The saner option would be this one. Then at least he would have splitters to close his city. Because the worst thing that could happen would be stuff like this one here. Pushing all these 3 into a huge ass ruin. Yeah, he goes for 1. for a safe approach and could go here, but then this attack would happen, quite likely. So he opts to play it safe again, give this city great chances of completion while threatening Blue's monastery. And now he's in a 2-1 mini battle, which is definitely to Yellow's advantage. Yep. This is what I would expect here. Going immediately after this one. Blue can't really justify going there. But at least sets up curves to close the road, and I hope they don't consider a farmer. They don't. But then this sets up this yellow one here to add a farmer if they happen to get something that works there. Blue immediately goes for the harassment. Yellow can't protect. Could go for this restriction, leaving only one tile to go here. With 2-1 meeples ain't that great actually, because this monastery just outscores a yellow city there. Taking these 3 points, which is normally fine, doesn't work in this case as don't have indirect protection options, but they don't matter anymore. Yellow's cities get killed. That's why Yellow took the 2 points, extended their likely ruin, and now they restricted this square to the one and only remaining horse. Yeah, there are still 3 daggers, so Mateusz quite likely won't protect. Instead, he tries to do the same to Blue's meeple there, just with a better odds of restricting this to a significant disadvantage for Blue, hoping to only leave the remaining starting tile to close that city. Meanwhile, Yellow closed on their city, which was threatened. Yeah, nice monastery. Juicy 7 points, supported by the road. Easy options available to liberate this, and I mean, even restrictions don't really work. Still 3 daggers left. Could do something about this, but as there's only 1 starting tile left, I don't think he will go for this. I'd rather put him on this move, restricting this blue meeple, taking away the easy loop, giving 3 possible quick pawns to take later with a horse, for example, which would be ideal, of course. Yeah. Totally fine move here. And well, now we might harass both of Blue's cities, threatening the kill here with any Dorito or triple city tile. He goes for an indirect restriction. Ruin killed. Yeah, I don't think the save would have been worth it. So starting tile gone. He prefers Getting meeples back over trying to go for an attack there. But then, of course, blue snatches their chance to attack this road and at least participate in the points here. Yeah, 3 getting options to restrict this. Also restricting the monastery. Why not? Giving you options to kill the monastery if you happen to draw a Dorito and have no better place to use it. For example, although no. That can't be true. Wow. A 6-point monastery, which is dead on arrival, when you could have claimed a 6-point monastery. So 5 plus 1. That's still alive with 3 straights still in the deck. Nah. That's a terrible mistake by blue. And this mistake might very well cost them the game. So this meeple is dead, as predicted earlier. Yeah, blue. Okay, takes the field. Yeah, that's a good field. For one, for now it's 9 points. Could get expanded. Yellow takes the safe city there. The one here at the bottom definitely wouldn't be really safe, leading to kills over here. Whereas this one actually has good chances of being completed. Blue with only 1 meeple in hand tries to harass the city, but actually I would have preferred this way. There are less city plus road caps out there. Oh no, there were 3. This one here twice and the rose. Wanted to say less caps than Doritos, which isn't true. But there are splitters, so we'll see. Yeah, the earlier sketched kill happens to Blue's Monastery there. Definitely wasn't necessary if they only had used this one over here. And if they lose this game, well, it could be due to this monastery. Yellow closes their city with one of the splitters, sets up a 6-point city and a possible 9-point field. For now, it's unlikely that blue will get a meeple back, because the only one they could still get back is this road meeple, as these squares, and with it, these meeples are dead. All that as well. Actually, let's use this one. That's easier. So blue claims the field. This never wins. This move never wins. The best you could hope for is for mtuu running out of time here. Even if you close this city for another 3 points to pad your lead to 12 points, well, then there's a 9-point field on the right side to be claimed. And then you are at +3. You can't win this way. You have to hope to get the cap and score the 6 points and then take one side of the field and defend it against a yellow invasion. Also, there are 2 caps there for quick points. I mean, I'm just can't believe this is happening here. Yeah, blue claims 6 points, blue might yellow claims 6 points, yellow might claim these caps, and even if they in the end might end up on blue's field here, yellow just wins. Yeah, would score 4 points here. And then there's only one option to connect. By the way, the horse isn't really critical anymore. By now, it wouldn't even end there. If it gets into blue's hands, they just pad their ruin. And frankly, should even go here and not there to connect. Keep this square open for the quad city. So 4 points to yellow. Actually, 2 pieces to connect, 2 vanillas left for blue to get this city onto their field. Yeah, and that's better by blue. Just taking away quick points from mtu. But, well, mtu still has a straight to add these 3 points to his field or to connect the fields, which would result in the same 3 points being added. And then there are more quick points to be taken with the remaining caps. Yeah, so he sets up this one up top and snatches the 4 points there, while blue scores 4 as well. And then mtu should just take this field, it seems. Because if not, then blue might add 3 points with the vanilla. Okay, if he gets this, it's game over. 4 points over here should seal the deal at +2. He would surge to +6, and even the 3-point move for blue doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Yeah. 2 terrible mistakes by blue. And in the end, they only lose by 4 points. Lost so much value. And this one, yeah, sure, it scores 8 points, but over here, it still would have had a chance for one to this monk here. The horse hit to fill the square. Not sure about the straights to go over here, but I mean, I don't really, yeah, at least one straight hit. Don't really deal in this specific permutation could have worked, but in wood, a lot of permutations would have worked for the player overall. And that definitely would have been the case. So yeah. In the end, the result suggests that blue should have won this game with better play. So I would expect them to continue with the third one momentarily, but let me take a quick break. Eight points for blue. Only a shoddy road for yellow, and this time blue is the starting player, has the early advantage. And we'll see. And oh, looky there. My auto zoom is back. Don't ask me why. But if it works, I'm fine with it. Not a great tile for blue. Not at all. Wherever you add it, it would create problems. So doesn't really work anywhere. This might be the lesser of all evils. Actually, the least of all evils, I think. Anyway, he saved his monastery at the opportunity costs of 4 points for this blue road. Blue gets more quake points, and at least yellow gets to close the road and drop another monastery while also consolidating the field situation over here. And well, the fourth city for blue. So yellow has to win the field here. Nice, very nice obstruction by yellow, taking away easy completions with 2 Doritos, forcing the city into this square, which is of course in danger of being restricted from the bottom to the ever threatening dagger limitation. And blue doubles down on this one. Yeah, but yellow isn't easily scared. There are still 3 daggers left, so even if both squares would get restricted to a dagger, there'd still be at least a 50% chance to hit 2. But then there might be more restrictions incoming to not give yellow the chance to draw one of these daggers. So for example, with a road Dorito like this, blue should definitely go for the kill here. But we've seen moves from blue that weren't really fit for master level play. So who knows? Yeah, that's the wrong dagger. Doesn't help yellow a lot. They could take away this square to attack, or at least restrict options for this one. Take away monasteries from here, which seems to be good value, because for blue this would be a prime monastery spot. Even if it's not ideal to attack yellow's city. On the other hand, setting up something over here could lead to stuff like this, threatening the square and the city at the same time. So it's not ideal. Taking the city at the bottom is out of the question due to your monastery and the quick points waiting for you there. What else is there? Doing stuff like this here, adding another cap to your field, meepling this, well, and then you might end up in a situation like this here. Not great. Also options to attack the field. Well, in the end, maybe just start a new city somewhere safe. He goes for a riskier approach, and it has some upside, possibly restricting Blue's monastery. Yeah, Blue's horse here, of course, goes for the obstruction / kill there. And the question is, do you even defend? Because it's just so likely that this one gets killed, and a defense, indirect defense like this, would only give you 3 tiles plus the daggers, of course, to save this situation. Whereas Blue would have way more tiles to kill this after all. So in the end, yellow opts to hedge their bets. 8 points for the monastery, 7 for the ruin. That's not too shabby. 15 points for 2 meeples is definitely fine if you have more meeples to play with, and they still have. They have the 2 in hand. And they also had this nice setup, a monastery here, also not without problems with the city next to it. A restriction to a dagger would have significantly reduced yellow's chances, but they got what they needed from the deck. Perfect vanilla to close the city and take away the killing options. Blue starts a city there, also creates another field, quite likely for them to take later, as they are the side with the meeple majority. I'm not convinced about 2 bigger cities for Blue, but there are still Doritos left, so the smaller one of these 2 could be closed fairly easily, unless yellow goes for restrictions like this one here, which would significantly break this city. On the other hand, this here, that's 3 points, a restriction to 2 starting tiles for Blue's monastery, and even if you give options over here to attack the field, it might just be worth it, especially if you draw one of said starting tiles. Nice move by blue. Due to both road monasteries being out there, there is no option to save both yellow monasteries. Yellow can only save one of them, that's the left one. If they get a monastery here, I'm pretty sure they will use it immediately for 10 points. With the vanilla, it would depend whether they liberate the monk or do something else. For now, yellow used starting tile to add their second farmer to the main field. And they are at plus 16 now. Blue tries to pad their cities here. And I think yellow should take away this monastery spot and the field attack, or rather this field attack. Yeah. That's better. That's definitely better. That's so easy to connect up top. Maybe now. And yeah, the problem this one here is it still would work as there's still a vanilla left to attack here. So if blue doesn't use the monastery but uses this platform as a field attack, they'd have these two options available to them. But the one option isn't enough. There's a second one that might get taken away by blue. On the other hand, there is the threat of this city here. And yeah, other orientation, but same idea. Trying to kill this city did not work. And now blue is at -2, but has 5 meeples in hand. Yeah, yellow has to take this. And might need to hope for this connection to happen without blue farmers immediately. Another meeple for yellow. +6 for them, 7. This was 2 points, of course. Blue takes the field up top, almost equalizes the game. Yeah, and Kurulo is absolutely right. Blue doesn't need the field to win. They just need to score points here. Nice road setup. Still 3 curves left. One gets into blue's hands. Could kill this one, actually. Might roll the dice on the monastery square here. Might need to. Another 4 points for blue. Yeah, yellow needs the splitter to set up points here. Yeah, they try to add another city to their field. And blue has +5 already. So basically they only need to take away chances from yellow to score points. Opening up the field to the top side I don't know. Yeah, nice attack by mtu, going after the city. Who tries to take it away immediately. Restricts this to a 50-50, which is the only remaining rotary toe. Yellow had a piece to connect in hand. Tough luck. Yeah, looks like as long as blue doesn't do any stupid mistakes, should be the favorite, but there's still the splitter and another cap left. So there's the splitter. And blue could add this, yellow could add this to their field. However, they choose to do this. But they need to hope for blue to draw something that doesn't block their connection. They need the connection to happen to have a chance. Because else, the best permutation for yellow would be to get the dagger and quite likely the monastery afterwards for 14 points total. But even then, they'd be only at +7 versus 3 meeples with 3 moves to go, and yeah, with this dagger, which kills this and takes away the last chance for blue to score. It's game over. A last chance for yellow to score points here. Yeah, 3 points, but even these 7 would not have been enough. Blue would just score points somewhere, either with the straight or the quad a city. Yeah, then the key situation. Well, the early city here, and this one was key. After blue was able to close that, the road for yellow got significantly harder. So where to start? First off, I'd like to take a look at first games. Well, actually, where to start? Let's take a look at the standings. So mtu now with 2 match wins out of 4 with a 6-5 tiebreaker, stays in place for now. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. He has a 6-5 tiebreaker. And Fox now is at 5-5 moves into this group here. So basically then mtu has to win versus Tito Ace, and Fox has to win versus Dremcard to have chances to reach the playoffs. In theory, there might still be an option to reach the playoffs, even with only 2 match wins, but we might take a look later once the result is actually factored in, and we could use the simulator because I think it's still not fixed yet. Let's try. So mtu is at 6-4. Oh, it is fixed. Is it fixed? Should he be at 7-6? No, he shouldn't be at 7-6. He should be at 6-6. Actually 6-5 even. Okay, it's not fixed yet, then let's just wait for later. And take a look at the start of the first game, because sadly I missed that due to still analyzing UI Scooty's match. Yeah, I get this move. It's not a move many people would play, but mtuu sometimes does stuff like that. Quite likely I wouldn't. I'd rather go for this one, which still leaves 2 options to attack the city. I'm definitely not a fan of huge cities and huge features in general. Sure, there are options to lose the city then, if blue happens to attack on both sides and connect. So this here is less volatile. In the end, it's very likely you will end up with this city or these cities. But in some cases, as we've witnessed, this turns out pretty terrible in the end. No, not with this option available and with this one, this already under threat. I don't mind allowing blue to continue with their city. I'd rather try to close this one ASAP. Kirill, what do you exactly mean by holding this city? In this configuration, to defend it against blue attacks, or what exactly do you mean? As for this one, I'd rather go over here, try to close this, attack the road, some cases, restrict this square, go after this city, or go after the city from the right side on the next turn. Okay, keeping it safe with 2 meeples. Yeah, I get that, because there are so many options to attack this later on. Yeah, but Kirill, would you have placed this Dorito there or somewhere else? And what about this dagger here as well? Which one would you trade for an opponent's meeple with tempo? Okay, yeah. That would have been my inclination as well, as I've mentioned. And what about the dagger? Would you go on the left? Would you attack the road? Okay, yeah. Or maybe here. But I think the left side is stronger. This here isn't threatened yet. Okay, are you still talking about the Dorito? Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, I think from then on, it went downhill pretty fast. Yeah, even this monastery. What's so bad about this one? At least you have this dagger option taken away. Yeah, but actually it's not great either. So just equalizing. Lose city meeple there, trying to restrict this, having a one mini battle seems fine actually. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, and from this point onwards, we've seen what had happened. In the end, the one thing I definitely would have done different, or very likely, I should say, because definitely there's nothing definitely in Carcassonne. I mean, sometimes there are so obvious moves and you still don't go for them. But in this case, very likely I would have gone for the splitter here. Yeah, I don't really see why yellow just scored the points. I mean, I get why mtuu did it, but just for the upside of possibly being able to close this one, and way unlikelier to close the one in the middle as well. You never know what happens, but if you don't go for this, I don't know. I mean, this here, sure, it scores 4 points, but there's this gap left there, so in all likelihood, blue would be able to score these, and then both of you have 4 points, and it's more likely for blue to take the field in the end. Okay, shall I skip back to the cow? I don't mind, actually. So that's 32. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I'm too fast. Maybe over here. There's still 2 daggers left if this gets restricted. On the other hand, there are 3 daggers left here, so I think this is fine as well. Let's get back to the splitter. Yeah. Still my move. Still my move. I don't know if it really improves your winning chances, and maybe this one here actually does more, but I'm not convinced it does. This cap is there. Blue already needs caps up top. They need city plus field tile next to tiles next to the monastery, next to this monastery as well. I don't think it's likely that blue would claim this before we do. On the other hand, we need the twin caps in the middle, can't use them to score these points. But yeah, just for the outside chance to get this meeple back. Even if we don't hit the splitter, we might hit the Doritos and build this up even. And if not, if all this doesn't work, we have 2 points here. Yeah, not sure about it. Then let's skip to the end. Not really sure whether there was anything there which mtuu could have done differently to save the day. So at this point in time, yellow has possession of this field, blue has just connected, and yellow attacked. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was something yellow could have done differently, and that's actually what I wanted to check out. And that's this connection with the road meeple. So he went for the road, but what would have happened if he hadn't gone for the road? Let's try to figure this out. So the connection, of course, was a must. You'd rather like to keep this 6-point field separate, which of course blue prevented. Blue adds a cap here. Okay. Then we did restrict. Fine move. Yeah, so blue now went for an 8-pointer. With still 3 tiles to connect. This one to take away the 6. They could have liberated the road meeple, the monastery meeple, for 5 points, giving them the chance for a 6-point move with this road, but actually not with the daggers. Really don't want to add caps to your opponent's field, especially not to a field which you more or less have no chance to tie, as this would be the 3rd versus only 1 blue farmer. So yeah, I think blue's move here was fine. They don't need more meeples anyway, and why not score 8 points if you can? So that is 7 points for yellow up top for the road. So far, they wouldn't have scored anything else if they hadn't gone for the road. And of course, they still had the twin caps here to get a meeple back. So yeah, it's not even that unlikely for them to get a meeple back, at least at this point in time. Crossroads, twin caps. But I think with 4 caps still out there, the chance to score quick points was still alive. And leaving this road up top for grabs in the end would be 7 points for anyone. But blue already has a 5-point move available to them. This one here with the crossroads. So basically, leaving this empty has only an expected value of +1 for blue. And then there's the upside of having the 50-50 flip go your way, which scores 7 points. So leaving it empty would have been 2.5, not a tad less, as blue has one move more. But let's say plus 2 points expected value for yellow overall. Looks to me, with these caps, yellow should have kept the meeple in hand, which would also not allow blue stuff like this here. Just set this up. I mean, it's rough. This farmer here, I think so, yes. I mean, he played this move to kill the square, first and foremost. There were still the daggers and the crossroad left. But where is it? 115. Let's check. Oh, I still have time. So he sets up the kill. Oh, yeah, shame actually. Blue, of course, could have protected the monastery, but needed to use the starting tile to close their city. So let's consider yellow not dropping a farmer. Well, they are at -10. Sure, they could connect here, but that connection would only be a 12-point move. So yeah, to me, it sounds totally fine to drop a farmer there. You have options to connect, sometimes even with tempo, by getting 3 more points. And you don't need to add this farmer to the field. Keeping the 6 points could be crucial. There is still a quick point option available. And if you don't go there yourself, well, then blue might over here. Sure, into a situation that's easily restricted to a crossroad, and with the crossroad immediately killed, but pretty sure blue would have gone for it nonetheless, because if yellow can't do anything about the square, they quite likely would need to merge the fields, which would be a concession in blue's favor anyway. So yeah, I think dropping a farmer is fine. Any thoughts, Kurillo? Doesn't seem like it. I mean, he's not, the type who answers with a lot of sentences, keeps it short. I like it. Keeps the discussion rolling. Okay, so I think farmer was fine. And where were we? Where is my stats box? Over here. Why are the tiles smaller? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, road meeple, it's too much. It's too much, and it's not even necessary. Let's just skip move by move. And then we'd see where we were. I think we were sometime after blue's crossroad move. Yeah, I'm not even convinced leaving this open without a meeple is the right move for blue here, because there are 3 tiles for yellow to close this immediately. To take away the chance, score 10. I mean, if you're down 5, could take this, even if there's no Dorito left and you need the quad city there. On the other hand, actually, if you take this, it gets killed immediately, except for yellow drawing the twin caps, because the twin caps yellow would always use here, but everything else immediately kills blue city. Although in theory it could still get closed, but then yellow would kill it later on. And the quad city would always land here, or should always land there. So yeah, goes for the right restriction, not endangering anything up top, just going for this one. Works totally fine, but then the twin caps fall into blue's lap. I think Kyrillo means not taking the city is okay because blue has not lost everything, or he's talking about the road up top, because so far this is a loss, because if you had the meeple in hand, blue couldn't go for stuff like that. They need to invest their meeple. But then blue would be at 83 and yellow at 77. And at least with this permutation, with the twin caps in blue's hand, well, 4 points here. Let's think about this move again. I think it's still the right call, because whatever blue gets, either they get 4 quick points or 5 points over here. So you can't take these options away from them. And then they just found their winning move, which is going for the field, still having a 5 for the connection here, or a 4-point move for the city available. Oh no, the city of course is worth only 3 points because you can't score the city, but you score 3 for the field. And if yellow does anything else, for example, stuff like this here, actually, if yellow does this here and blue gets the quad, yeah, blue would need to place the quad somewhere. But it doesn't change the outcome, right? They score these 3 points. Yellow gets whatever cap. Yeah, doesn't matter. They could get what's still out there, the vanilla, or an additional point over here, but then blue gets the remaining dagger. So 4 points for blue over there, 1 point for yellow here. That's +3 for blue, and that's enough. So yeah, no matter whether yellow closes the cap or takes away the connection option with the quad city, they would have lost the game. Yeah. And I'm still sure they would have had better chances, at least in most cases, not necessarily the one that took place to win the game without meepling the road there. Okay, then let's take a look at the second one. I mean, even if I said it all, let's again take a look at Blue's Monastery, the second one. Where is it? Seems to be this. Yeah, just a devastating move. Blue went here. I don't know. To me, Road Monastery and regular Monastery are different enough. And even if this were a regular Monastery, and this square wouldn't be that, this app is definitely way stronger. Yeah, no questions asked. If you meeple the monastery at this point, it has to go there. So, and later on, let's skip to, I don't know, 115. Ah, yeah, this situation. Yeah. Even with this monastery here, blue still had a chance to win the game. But taking this field, no. Yeah, just score the points. Maybe, or yeah, maybe that's the explanation. Maybe it's just a misclick. Yeah, that might very well be. If it's a misclick, I get it. That's an explanation I hadn't considered. So if it's a misclick, sorry, Fox. But it might not be. I don't know. If it's intentional, then it's definitely a mistake. Take the 2 points, hope to score quick points, keep the meeple in hand, and later take either side for 9 or 6. Maybe that's enough. There are still loads of quick point tiles out there. And everything else is basically dead. I mean, this meeple here could come back in theory, but only in theory. Yellow won't help there, so you need to add 3 tiles to get it back. Okay, I think that's enough for this one, but let's check. Anything else I've missed maybe? Yeah, nice move by blue. Nothing. Everything fine. Okay, then let's take a look at the last one. I don't think there was anything mtu could have done differently in the end, but maybe I've missed stuff. Well, let's check out the city situation, actually. So when did this happen? Early on, even. Yeah, but I think there was nothing he could have done. Yeah, this year I'm still not sure about. I mean, it worked in his favor because blue, of course, opted to fry bigger fish here. Yeah, so this monastery. Let's check. So we have 3 plus 3 for yellow, but then 3, 4, 7, 11 for blue. Doesn't look great. Well, let's use the calculator. So what did I say? Let's refresh. We are at move 51. So we have 45 tiles left after yellow moves this one. So, and we need to get either a starting tile or one of the daggers before blue gets vanilla. Oh, actually, there are 3 starting tiles and 3 daggers and 3 vanillas, and there's 1 splitter, and there are 3 field Doritos and 4 cows. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. So our condition is to get at least 1 of, actually, yeah, let's just take the simple approach. We only care whether we have a chance or not. We don't necessarily need to hit the dagger. So we need 1 starting tile or 1 dagger before the other party gets one of the other 4 tile varieties. That should roughly be a 30% chance. It's 1 in 6? Wow. So bad. But why? Just because they are the next one to draw? So they have, what did I say? 11 tiles and we have 6. That's rough. Well, need to check this out. Okay, but if it's true, and it should be, then not going here definitely was the right choice. Because in the end, these two score 15 points already. You may be even able to pad this. Also, although it's unlikely in this case. So yeah, blue kills this, of course, immediately. And was there anything else then? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Well, let's skip ahead. And if not, I'll call it quits in a few seconds then. Oh yeah, there was yellow's last attack here, the Hail Mary. Yeah, actually, I mean, with 4 pieces to connect, 4 out of 10, out of 11. Yeah. Could have worked for blue. On the other hand, could have worked for yellow. Excuse me. On the other hand, it is an 8-point ruin, so that's only a +7 move for blue, which would let them tie the game. It still all hinges on getting the remaining caps at least to score 7, then another curve. Ideally, on your last turn to score 8 points. And basically, if all 3 of these options, so city, this one here, and the connection would happen, well, then yellow is golden, but with 9 tiles remaining, they only have 5 moves, so 1 splitter, quick points, this one, so only 1 to spare. Yeah. Still a chance, just didn't work out for them. And even then, they still had a chance, but not with stuff like they got. Okay, then that's it for now. Let's take a look now that the standings have updated. Yeah, as I've said, mtuu needs to win versus Tito. Else, there for sure will be folks who will overtake. Good news for him, though, is he has currently a better tiebreaker than all these folks with 2 match wins and 2 match losses. And there won't be anyone to catch him. So even if Helge or Horse were to win their matches, sorry for the spoiler, by the way, yeah, doesn't help here. Yeah, you're welcome, Kirillo. Thanks for helping in the chat and chiming in. Always a pleasure to at least have someone who's active there. So yeah, looks good for mtu actually. He just needs to win, and a 2-0, and he will secure a playoff ticket. A 2-1 might not be enough. If Acetos and Cherry would win 2-0 each, or if I don't know what else could happen. No, nothing. Yeah, so it looks like mtu would be pretty safe with any win, but it's still Tito Arce, and even if mtu is the favorite as well, that doesn't help him win the game, right? Still have to play Carcassonne and hope to get the better tiles and find the better moves. Yeah, you're right, Kirill. I will finish quickly. Bye-bye, folks. I see you out there. Oh, stop. Let's check what's up tomorrow. Tomorrow, 14 UTC, City ×5 versus Sparta. I'll see you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.